Duty support. Let's go back to Heaven's Ward. It should be everything from Google down. Wait, no, yeah. 5 new dungeons. Oh, no, they actually did do 6 new dungeons. Here we go. Oh, my God, the Pierogoro. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that it's just a tank Pierogoro. Pierogoro. I don't need to see my own portrait game. Oh, my God, he quite literally leaps into action. Just want to look at him. He's just casting water. Hey, everyone's like, when can we get a mage tank? You understand this just means that the amount of mage tank, like, people asking for it is just going to be substantially higher, right? Look at him hop. Woo!
Focus. Release.
Calm down, Alphano. Also, look at his symbol on the... Yeah, he's a tank and he's a frog. I'm calling him Glenn. He's not a knight of any kind, but it fits. Yeah, honestly, that's the next step. Now that we have portraits in the dungeons, if you're gonna show me the portraits, they should make portraits for the trusts. Get him, Pierogoro. Yeah, boss-wise, not any different, I don't think. I feel like there was a baited AoE here before, like on this split. I think they got rid of this baited AoE. I think that's the only actual difference I've seen. You know why? It makes sense that they would get rid of that while doing duty support. The duty support AI can only dodge like 1 AoE at a time. So if they do that, if they have the baited AoE there, the AI on them is going to break every single time. I wish the frog had a voice line that was just like, rip it. Why didn't they voice the frog? Oh, he did just... Oh, no, that might have been the enemies when we pulled them. I heard a croak. So I'd imagine he's still doing this, but I'd imagine all of the, like, kiting and everything is gone. Okay, they did. They left the baits in. Yeah, because it used to be that those would block those, so you would have someone detonate them before someone with the orb came in. No, it's pretty much identical. Other than the trust just running through. Okay, for some reason I thought that boss was going to be different. Yeah, I think that's the only difference is that Gale Cut is completely independent of the fires now. Alphano? Interesting location to drop that, Alphano. Interesting location to still be standing as well. There you go. Just explodes once now, though. What the heck? I mean, it's like super long now. But they just stop. They're just like, no, you do those ones. Oh, and then they expect you to run between all of them. That's toxic. And now, okay, and now it's... They'll move like halfway, yeah. I like the tank just being like, uptime.
I have my pride.
Nobody cares, Alphano. Not a single person asked, nor did we care. Alright, not too much different, but nice. I really like the frog. So now that takes us to ARF, which I know I've been told has changed significantly. The name of the Emperor!
In the name of the Emperor!
Shut up!
In the name of the Emperor!
Stop! And then it's the spread fires on the deeps. Yeah, of course they expect me to do this. No surprises there. Yeah, so that was the size of what the old 3-stack would have looked like. Because the 2-stack is supposed to be quite small. And then the 3-stack is supposed to be big. That one's just big. Oh, see? They're so scared. They're like, I don't wanna. Our might knows no bounds. It's better than the last category they had. The last category they had for Final Fantasy... Oh, okay. Here we go. I'm going to assume we want to each be in our own quadrant. Well, I mean, that's how the trusts did it, but there was no reason there. There might be later.
Darkness shall consume light.
No, I don't want it to consume light. It was literally like Final Fantasy XIV, like a Realm Reborn speedrun. Oh, they're gonna merge towards each other, I'd assume? Oh, that one's gonna go... Oh, no, yeah. No, it's sides. Yeah. That's what I thought was gonna happen, but... For a second, I thought one started moving without the other.
Mortal scum.
Okay, maybe there was that one as well, the unsynced speedruns. No, there was one that was literally... This is donuts, I'd assume. Yeah. There was one that was literally like a Realm Reborn, like 1 to 50. And it was also at like 1 in the morning. It was the graveyard shift for that day. Oh, I just never realized I never dance partnered the whole fight. The whole dungeon. So focused on the actual bosses. Yeah, this is a much better category. If they run anywhere but here, if they run all the way south, I'm going to be so upset. Thank you. I just hope the servers are working properly. That's my only concern. So after maintenance tonight, I hope there's consistent stability for everyone. Not much you can do about that. Other than hope. Yeah, I definitely prefer the old phase one.
Light shall burn no more.
Alright, there's phase one. Yeah, definitely prefer the old phase one. Hello, Asian Prime. Don't worry. We're here to win. Staying directly under it with the tank buster. Stuff in front. Alright. Dual star. This is the things that collide. Yeah, so this is... This will go first, and then you have to get to the sides because of the distance. Yeah. And then universal manipulation. Look at all these debuffs. Ancient Frost. Yeah, it's like Grand Cross Ascian. Yeah, this is a pretty good improvement with all the debuffs. Just getting used to what is like the most traditional dance. And then this is going to be fire tethers that you have to run out with, yeah. The dungeon version of Grand Cross Ascian. Ow. It's funny, the only reason I noticed I didn't have Dance Partner was specifically because I went to use Curing Waltz. Arcane Revelation. I like the shades here. Got some ice, some spreads. What you got for us now? 2 shadow flares, so that's a double room wide. Then we've got ice and spreads again. No eternal despair. Fire and ice consume you. Hey, I know this. Bam! Ow, that did a lot. Even without the blessing of light, how is this possible? Because I'm the protagonist. That's how. Alright. And then that's going to be another one of those, like, donut runaway phases. Alright, that was pretty good. I liked it. I actually prefer the old first phase, but I completely see... I know why it's different, you know? It's pretty obvious why it's completely different. Universal manipulation was kind of janky before. I'm not surprised at all that they changed it. Damn it! I don't want to have to rely on them! Come here, Thancred. We're gonna do laps, Thancred. We're doing laps. Alright, they're done. Alright, so yeah, it's no more of DPSing these. Yeah, it's just 4 corners are safe. Of course, I didn't need to spread over here. It's just go to any, well, corners of the circle. You know what I meant. 4 safe spaces along the edge. Yep, and then you still have to do all of this. Then it causes it to explode. Oh, no, there's a tank buster. He's going to leave these last 2. Maybe he'll destroy one and then do, like a meteor. Alright, yep. I was on point for that one. Alright, yep. The look away is still here. Tank buster with the marker. Brace is probably still... Oh no, it's get in front, right? Not get behind, get in front. Well, so and they're gonna make the NP... I have to just watch. When we eventually get a new Delubrum Savage type content and it has a Calcabrina and Dollhouse is 24 people becoming dolls, there will be retribution. I think Cursed Gaze also doesn't have an didn't have an icon originally. And yeah, she changes the direction she faces. She faces a random direction for Brace. Yeah, it had a generic targeting icon. Now it has a legitimate, like, look away icon. So there's a few icon fixes centering for Brace, and that seems to be largely it. Yeah, the whole knockback thing is what I expected to be different. But I guess they can make them smart enough. Or they can just expect the player to be smart enough to do it. Something, it's just, they don't normally just expect the player to be smart enough. But it looks like, yeah, that's what they went with. They were just hoping the player is smart enough. However, I run into a different issue. I want to use my dance, and I can't because I don't want to knock the other little ones into it. Okay. Okay, I'm getting sick of the NPCs just ignoring the things. I was like, is this still a cross AoE? They're not moving, so I guess not. They're like, I don't get vuln stacks. Yeah, every auto from these things used to be a cleave. So sometimes you just walk up and then you would just get cleaved by every mob that was aimed at the tank because you're trying to move in for AoEs. Hey, good job. There's the cloud call. Emmerich? Emmerich? Okay. I was gonna say. Okay. There you go. Yeah, it looks like the cloud call only pulses once now. It's the only change I really noticed. Yep, just as I thought. One big arena. I mean, I called it ahead of time, but even still. Now they're using the way his model's used in DSR! It's baby DSR, I don't like it. Let me out. Otherwise, it's pretty good so far. Other than, you know, losing the whole arena jumping thing. Hey, Akmorn. So many hits. Yeah, as long as Nidhogg doesn't show up, we'll be good. Where are the Akrais? Hello, Faunus. Hello. Ah, that's the ice. Slippy Doo. Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably this, but with ice. I was gonna say, y'all need to move one more time. Like how they have it down perfect to end center. No.
For the House of Levier! I have my pride. I have my pride.
Do you have your pride? Tell me about the pride that you have. Oh, I didn't hear it the first 2 times. Would you like to tell me again? I'd like to know all about your pride.
Focus. Release. Away with you.
You still got a few more months for that, Alphano. You got anything else in the tank, Crace Felger? Before I blast you to oblivion? Do one more cast. Just so I can send it. What are you doing? What are you just, that's it? You just give up? Alright, fine. He's like, you should be done by now. Okay, I was gonna say they probably don't let him move around anymore, and it has this this whole big knock-up animation. I figured that was probably what it was gonna do. I always love how big the fan here is. I'm a big fan of it. Yeah, I don't think that had a proper knockback indicator before, which wouldn't surprise me if they just. Here's Swift Feather. This is the tank buster. Where he just instantly on lows. Boop. He's still... Dude, that's the most honest to Duty Finder tank thing I've ever seen. Every tank who does this, it has the same... Oh, he just... Okay. Now, instead of it being on a player, he just automatically... He just, like, prevents you from using certain ones. So, yeah, you just don't have to defeat these anymore is the big difference here. You still need to annoyingly pick up the Airstone. But that's not too bad. True story about this theme. Did you know this was supposed to be the Nidhogg boss theme originally? Also, more DSR flashbacks. This should be a donut then. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember if the patch notes said this one had changed or not. But no, this one's completely identical. Alright, and this should be the only part of this dungeon that's any different. I'd assume the nail phase is the big thing. Sloppy. Say it.
Sloppy.
I wonder why he says that when you've completely avoided it.
I'll tear you limb from limb.
It's never made sense.
Yeah.
Sloppy. Sloppy. Yeah, this is what I assumed would be different. Either that or maybe they just know which one to go after. Like maybe they're just smart enough. Oh, they just all go mid. Okay. Guess that makes sense. Yeah, I think it's only the tank buster marker. I think that's the only thing. I'm like looking for actual changes, and I think that's the only one. Sloppy. Well, at least this... I may have gone through a whole dungeon just to find that out, but at least I got to hear Sloppy as my reward. Alright, well, that's all the duty support changes. Most of them barely noticeable, just updating markers, which is important, mind you. The consistency of markers throughout the game is one that I've criticized. It's a problem I've criticized for a long, long time. And that is a primary thing they've been fixing. Couple of small mechanical changes, a lot of recentering. Sometimes where the boss is actually facing, such as with, like, Brace on Calcabrina. A few extra markers there as well. But for the most part, yeah. The last boss of Aetherochemical was one of the more noticeable changes. Demon Tome had a couple of things. The baited AoEs being gone was the big one, because that probably breaks the AI. Byblos, the Gale Cuts don't interrupt the fire, and he re-centers for the charge mechanic. And then the last boss was just... It looked like just the explosion on the orb, and maybe the cast time on the Void Portals. So it's just like one explosion, they just have to get out of it. Then we had... Yeah, Aetherochemical was just the last boss, both Phase 1 and Phase 2. Was all that was really different there. I thought an AoE color changed, but I guess not. But the first two bosses were pretty much identical. Maybe the circle on the second boss, the knock-up circle, was bigger. I don't remember how big it was before. I only remember what the turn 8 one looked like, which is what it's mimicking. Then what else was it? Anti-Tower, first boss the same. Second boss had the change to the meteors. Calcabrina had the markers, plus recentering and facing a direction for Brace. So yeah, Ziggy was pretty different. Sorkai, last boss, is completely different. Still pretty good, but you know, lost some of the things it had before for something more traditionally good. But definitely wasn't a bad thing. Kind of reminded me of the last boss of where is it? Of Itiscope. Kind of reminded me of that. Zelfatol was the knock-up boss, and the first and second boss both had like changes. The knock-up boss stays still, and there's a ground marker for it, and the second boss just targets people with things. Like, it doesn't target people with the tornadoes anymore, it just targets them with spreads, and the tornadoes are placed. And then Baelsar's was just the tank buster marker. That is it. That was the only change there was. So otherwise, just Stormblood left at this point. We have Siren Song through Gimlet, and that'll probably be 0.4 and 0.5 for both of them. Maybe if we're lucky, they'll do the rest of them, because these shouldn't really need much in the way of changes. It should be just normalizing the remaining markers that need to be normalized for the most part. At least, I'd assume. But yeah, that's the duty support for the rest of the Heavensward dungeons, and now we're almost done. So, bravo.